All right, exercise in childhood. Routine physical activity should be a daily occurrence for younger children. The guidelines recommend 2 hours per day. 1 hour of it should be structured activity, and 1 hour should be unstructured free play where they can just run out and play and do whatever they want to do. In middle and late childhood, a higher level of physical activity is linked to lower levels of metabolic disease. That's going to be fairly obvious. This one is not so obvious to a lot of people. Aerobic exercise is also increasingly being linked to cognitive skills. So essentially, if you want to be smarter, you should exercise. This isn't just for kids, this is for adults as well. If you would like to be smarter, you should exercise. Exercise is linked to attention, memory, effortful and goal-driven behavior, thinking, behavior, creativity, all kinds of things. So, yes, if you want your brain to work well, you should exercise. Related to this, screens. So we have more screens nowadays. The more screens that a kid uses, the less physically active they're going to be, and it's also going to be related to being overweight as well. That's exercise in childhood. In adolescence, about 40% of females reach the daily guidelines, and about 57% of males reach those. Exercise in adolescence is going to be linked to weight regulation, lower levels of blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes. Research has found a lot of other positive effects on a number of other outcomes related to exercise, and these other outcomes such as lower levels of alcohol, cigarette, and marijuana use, improved quality of sleep and concentration, better mood, lower depression, and then again, better cognition, including memory, creativity, and perception. Just kind of a side note, if you want to head off a lot of different mental issues that you could run into in your life that could pop up, like anxiety and depression and ADHD and these things, exercise is a great preventative measure. And for a lot of people, it's even good when they are in the middle of something. So if you have a mild case of depression, exercise is really good for it. A severe case of depression is going to be a little bit more difficult, but a mild case of depression, you can bounce back from that by using exercise, is what the research shows. That is just effective as medications. Okay, the exercise rates of high school students in 2011 by gender and ethnicity. And so, yes, what I was talking about earlier, that it's more likely for males to be reaching those goals than females. And so, yes, we're looking at least 60 minutes a day where they got their heart rate up. Exercise, again, this is going to be kind of related to modeling, and that you as the parent and their schools are providing a good model for them. Essentially, parents and peers, they will play an important role in children's and adolescents' exercise habits and the physical activity. Growing up with parents who regularly exercise provides a good positive model. There's been research that's shown that if you as a parent exercise in front of your kid will be more likely to go on to exercise themselves. With the schools, many of them failed to provide daily physical activity, so only about 50% of 9th through 12th graders had one PE class in a week. And then only 31.5% had an ed PE class 5 days a week. PE or an athletics class, like a sports, if you played basketball or whatever. Again, screen-based activity is linked to lower levels of physical fitness in children and in adolescents, and it is also at least related to a lot of adolescent health issues. Screen-based activity is associated with being overweight, sleep problems, lower fitness, and higher levels of depression. And I think we'll talk a little bit about that in the discussions. All right, that's it for Chapter 4. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for listening.